So one of the things to look at is, does your bank offer mobile services? Okay. So as you're looking for a bank, those are things you need to look for. Another test. Should you choose a bank known for great gifts? The old line about open an account, we give you a toaster. That's really not why you go to that bank, but many people are lured in by that. Okay. ATM and debit cards are the same as credit cards. True or false? Okay. Some banks offer student accounts. They do. Okay. And prepaid spending cards have a spending limit. Aha, they do. I can remember people coming into the bank saying, I can't possibly be overdrawn. I still have checks left. And it's the same with prepaid spending cards. They have a limit. So, great pamphlet. If you're interested, I have those out there that are available for you to pick up or order. Managing credit and debt, sort of along the same line, but talks about what you use credit for. You use credit for items that appreciate in value, like your home, that generate future income, like you take a loan to get a college degree, because that's going to generate future income, okay? And items that have a value even after you finish paying it off, like a car. So you take a car loan out for 4 years, and the car, you're going to drive the car for 10. Okay, obviously has a life longer than the loan. But what you don't use credit for, and the younger generation, we need to instruct them, is you don't use credit for depreciating goods and services. Okay, so you don't finance vacations, you don't finance a meal out, Valentine's Day weekend with your bride. Okay, you don't finance your clothes, and you shouldn't really be financing Christmas gifts and holiday gifts, or whatever you call the holiday, okay? Now, the exception is if you are disciplined, and I guess discipline is the key word throughout all of credit. If you're disciplined to pay off the balance, as they talk about, every month, then so be it. Now you're in a winning situation, because in many places you gain the points from the credit card. So many people pay everything they do with their credit card every month, but pay the balance off every month. So it costs them zero money in interest to make their mortgage payment, their utility payments, everything. They buy their groceries, they buy their gas, all on credit, but pay it off at the month, and they get the reward points at the end of the month, and that turns into cash, that turns into vacations, that turns into airline tickets. That is being smart, and that's what we're trying to teach our folks to do. Okay, don't pay interest on meals, don't pay interest on vacations, don't pay interest on Christmas gifts. Save the money for that. But if you're disciplined enough that you can charge those items and gain the reward points, and every good credit card company has a reward program, and the associations you belong to have programs, the private organizations, the Ingus's, the Nauguses, the Military Officers Association, they've all got their own programs, and they've all got reward points on those programs. So managing credit is something that we like to stress. Basic banking. Now, I used to teach this in college of Banking 101, so I could go on for a long time about banking. But basically, we've covered most of this in banking, but the banking world has changed. There used to be banks, there used to be savings loans, there used to be credit unions. Now you can't tell the difference. Banks and savings loans are all one and the same. Just make sure whatever bank you go to, that the deposits that you have on there are FDIC insured. Okay, that's Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. That's the insurance on your account, up to $250,000 per account, that covers your money if that bank goes under. Doesn't cover you if you go under, but it covers the bank if they go under. And there are bank failures. Pretty much every month there's a few bank failures. Now, up until the economic problems we had in the last several years, the FDIC could take care of failed banks through the insurance premiums that the banks paid. So this is not really taxpayer money that's insuring these accounts. These are premiums that banks pay as a part of doing business to the government to buy the insurance to cover the accounts. Because of some of the large bank failures and the TARP money that went out in 2009, that was taxpayer money. As some of the big banks failed, some of the big insurance companies failed, all bets were off, and the whole banking and insurance world changed. But the basic thing is make sure that the bank has the services that you need. Make sure you know what they charge. Make sure there's no hidden fees. Make sure they're reputable. Ask around about that bank or that savings and loan or that credit union. Ask who they are. Many times our young soldiers bank where their parents bank because there's a relationship there, and that's fine, okay, because there's some knowledge about the corporation there. But if they're moving to a new town or somebody new comes in from Wyoming to the National Guard Bureau, they're on a stat tour, and now they have to establish an account, okay, I would advise them to check out. If they want a local bank, check out those institutions, talk to some people that bank there, find out what their fees are so you know up front what they're going to be, because I tell you what, fees can eat you alive. Banks are profitable not because of the interest they charge on loans, but because of the fees they make on products. So my goal is to tell people don't pay all those fees. Okay, get a free credit card, get free checking, get unlimited number of checks. Don't pay for printed checks. Don't pay for ATM withdrawals. Know what those banks charge and don't pay all their fees. Let somebody else pay all their fees. Okay, know about banking. I guess I'm running out of time, huh? Okay, couple more and Frank and I worked together for many years, and he knows I have a time-telling problem. A time recognition problem, right? Okay. Managing your personal records. I won't go too in-depth on this, but you need to keep track of your bank accounts for tax purposes, for audit purposes, for historical purposes in general, okay? Many banks have electronic document storage, and that's fine, but know where it is. If you store all your documents on your own computer, make sure you have it backed up somewhere, either through a service or a hard drive at your mother's house. I don't know, but make sure you have a backup. I guess you have to ask yourself, okay, in managing your personal records, if I went home tonight and my house had burned down to the ground and there was nothing left, okay, could I manage and survive tomorrow financially? Okay, it means, can I pay my bills? Do I know what I have? Do I have my life insurance policies? Do I know what my car insurance is all about? Do I know how much money I had in the bank? Do I have records of all that? Do I have last year's tax returns somewhere? Where do I have that? Where do I start? Manage your records. Okay. Financial planning and goal setting. This goes a little deep. A lot of people, they put this off. The two businesses that I work in, banking and insurance, they're not very sexy. They're sort of boring. They're not like the things we do in the National Guard. I'm an air guy. We fly planes. We do cool stuff, okay? So when we get down to, well, let's talk about insurance, and let's talk about financial planning for the future for 40 years from now, okay? That's like, well, I'd rather take that root canal first because it's not real exciting, okay? But believe me, we have to stress with our younger generation that they need to plan for the future. They need to have financial planning and goal setting. I wish I had when I was 20 what the 20-year-olds have today. I wish I had thrift savings plan. I wish I had 401ks. I wish I had IRAs. And I've seen all that come in my lifetime, and I wish I had it at an earlier age. I've taken advantage of all those when they come about. But the thrift savings was only made available to drill status guardsmen after 2000, 2003, 2004. Okay? Now it's available to everyone. I wish I had had all those. And I try to stress to the young folks, save, save, save. Save through your TSP. Save through your employer's 401k. Many of them match it. That's free money if they match it. Okay, if you can put 5% in your 401k and your employer will put 5% in, I consider that a raise. Okay? It's a 100% return on your investment. Okay, plus it's invested. So we need to educate our young folks. Save. Pay yourself first. It's the consistency of saving that we try to preach. So you need to save and you need to plan. And this pamphlet does a good job of explaining that to our youngsters. And the last one is more planning and retirement while you're in your 20s and 30s. And a lot of 20 and 30-year-olds say, you know, that is so far away. But believe me, those of you in the room that are my age know that it wasn't that far away, and it happened very, very quickly. Okay, you went from 20 to 60 overnight, and you wonder where in the hell you've been, okay, and how I got here so fast, okay? But it happens. So if we can get to those young folks in the beginning, when they at entry level, when they join the military, when they're an E1 or an O1, and we can get to them, we can talk to them about the consistency of savings. It's not always how much you save, it's how often you save, okay? And if it's every payday, you pay yourself first. And if you do TSP or you do a 401k, that's paying yourself first. And oh, by the way, if it's deducted before you get your check, you don't even miss it. Because you got so many other things being taken out with federal tax, state tax, Social Security, Medicare, you know, CFC and everything else they take out. A little bit more you're never going to miss because you're only looking at my net take-home pay anyway. So I thank you for coming today, and I thank for the folks that are going to hear the broadcast. Credit and savings are very important. I've made a life out of credit in addition to a life of the National Guard. So those two to me are very related. And I think any soldier, any airman that we can steer in the right direction and we can help save, we can give them a better quality of life, we can prevent them from going down the wrong road and save them some anguish later on in life for their family, for their children, then that's the right thing to do. So thank you very much. Any of these pamphlets that are of interest to you, I will give to you out at the table. And you can order from the website of USAEdFoundation.org free of charge. Thank you very much. Enjoy the day. Thanks.